I feel like it's so often that you have those times in your life where you're kind of scared to do things that you enjoy, which is so counterintuitive. But those blocks that prevent us from doing things that we enjoy are very, very real, whether they were sort of put onto us in childhood, where we had childhood bullies, or family, friends even, that made us feel uncomfortable for doing things that felt good because they were perceived as arrogance or egotistical, whatever it is. And so then you grow up and maybe you've decided now that you're going to follow your dream and you're going to do things, but you're terrified to post, you're terrified to show yourself, you're terrified to perform because you're afraid of what somebody else might think of it. There was something that I wrote about in my Substack, I think it was about imposter syndrome, and part of that was talking about when you start something, people are gonna, they'll be like, oh, they're doing this now, that's strange, or, they'll have their opinion about it. But eventually, after that persistence and that consistency, you're just going to be, oh, that's something that they do, that's how people are going to think about it. They're going to be like, oh, that's something that they do. And, that's like my YouTube channel. I was so afraid of doing this, but I just felt like it was something that I wanted to do, and it made me happy, and it makes me happy knowing that I'm helping other people. When I started this years ago, I was at this very pivotal time in my life where I had realized very sorely and abruptly that no one was coming to save me. Nobody was going to ever see the light and the passion and the talent that was inside of me unless I did what I could to be able to live in it. And I always wished that somebody came along and said, Hayley, I see you. I see that you have this special thing inside of you. I knew it was there. Nobody else could see it. And that can be a very isolating and very lonely place to be when you know that something's inside of you, and because other people can't see it, they don't think that it exists. And that was that moment where I was like, I have to give myself the permission to do the things that I want to do, to express myself and my truth and my authenticity. And it took time to be able to do that super comfortably. But it was the intention behind it of like, no one is coming. No one is rooting for this part of me that they can't see. They don't know it exists. They can't see it. And so I have to be that person. And I think that can really be the hardest thing, getting started with all of this stuff, and even just reaching different milestones, or, different parts of your career. Anything to do with creativity, whatever it is that you do, there aren't going to be moments where you wish and you hope and you pray and you just fantasize that somebody's going to come and just be like, go, do it, take the next step, do the thing, I'm here with you, I've got your back, I believe in you. Not everyone has somebody like that in their life, and if you do, you're very, very lucky. I think that a lot of your success is going to come from how much you are willing to be that person for yourself, despite how scary it is, despite how embarrassing it might feel. Embarrassing in the sense that maybe, other people around you have a lot of friends, or they have a lot of support, and they have a lot of people rooting for them, so it's easier, they have an easier time. And maybe that's not a luxury that you possess. No matter what it is, no matter how many times you're going to be down in your life and not have people around, maybe you do have people around, but not the kinds of people that have the capacity to push you and to, have that foresight for you to see where you're going and to want to be a soft landing for you, and to just, not everyone has that capacity. We shouldn't expect people to have that capacity. And what I'm trying to say is that that capacity is inherent. It's inherent in us. We already have that capacity in ourselves, and I truly believe that, because if we can conceptualize of somebody else doing those things for us, it's telling us that we're looking for something outside of ourselves. And oftentimes when we're looking for something outside of ourselves, we can give it to ourselves. And for a lot of my life, my thing was love. I was looking outside of myself for validation, approval, love from men, from anyone, from my friends. Do I look good enough? Do I look okay? Am I pretty? Do you love me? Do you want to be with me? If not, why? And I'm going to try as much as I can to be everything that you want, so that you want me. It's exhausting, it's tiring, and 9 times out of 10 you're not getting 10 times out of 10 it's not happening. Like, most of the time when you're in that state and you are giving and giving and giving, people take and they don't give a lot back. If they don't have the capacity, if they're takers and they're like, oh, look at all this free love that this person's giving me, they care about me so much, oh my god, I must be so special, this must mean that they're weak. No. That is misdirected love. That is misdirected attention. That's misdirected permission. So we're going to put that back on ourselves. There's going to be ebbs and flows. You're going to be up, you're going to be able to do it, and then maybe you're just going to have a little dip and you're going to be like, wait, what's going on again? Why do I feel really anxious about doing stuff that I've done before? It is a practice, and it's a muscle, and it's something that, if you don't do it for a long time, you're going to remember what it feels like to be scared and paralyzed to do it. But there's something way more important than the fear and the barrier and the discomfort and maybe even the disgust that you feel when you think about being that person for yourself. But you only have one shot at this life. And I feel like if you're watching this video, at some capacity, you care a lot about your life, and you care a lot about spending your life wisely, enjoying it, and being creatively fulfilled and passionate and motivated, and just doing what your heart desires, and not following the 9 to 5. 9 to 5s are fine, but I'm talking about just traditional, unfulfilling, soul-crushing path that we get sort of baited into. When you're a child, it's like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, you want to be an astronaut? Oh, you want to be this, you want to be that. And then you get to a certain age and it's like, well, this is the real world. And then everyone stops being so whimsical and nice, and the dream starts to shatter, and people start being like, what do you mean you want to be a musician? What do you mean you want to study music? What do you mean you want to be a film director? What do you mean you can't make money off of art? What are you talking about? And those people, if you listen to that, and it builds this story in your head, and it builds these beliefs in your head, and undoing that can be a nightmare when you get older and you're in your adult years. And that dream and that spark is dying, and it sits inside of you in this little cage, and it's collecting dust, and it's painful. Do you want to live with that pain for the rest of your life? Do you want to have to do that to yourself? I don't think that you do. I think that if you're watching this, then at some capacity you don't want that for yourself. So you have to give yourself permission to do the things that other people are just not ever going to do for you. And it's sad, I guess, but at the end of the day, if you are able to do that and you're able to be that person for yourself, then you never have to worry about, even having fake friends, that purposefully don't be that person because they don't want you to be at your full capacity or shine as brightly as they know that you could. And that's really harmful. And that's why I think, like, when you take that into your own hands and you're like, well, what do I want from other people right now? And like for me, I want somebody to take me to karaoke. You know, I want somebody to call me up and be like, Hayley, I know that you love singing. Let's go to karaoke. I'm going to hype you up and I'm going to make you feel really, really comfortable. You know, I just got to do it. You know, I just got to go and sing my little heart out. I thought about it today and I was like, I could go by myself. I could do that. Why not? Why can't I go by myself? Because no one would know me anyway. So I could sing my heart out and people would just be like, oh, what a random person. I wonder who she's with. I don't know. You have the choice. You can decide whenever you like to be that person for yourself, even if you just take little baby steps. You know, it doesn't have to be all go all at once. But practicing that muscle and allowing yourself to be your own best friend. You know, that one person that you can rely on. You know, and forgive yourself if you mess up. Everybody messes up. I mess up. You know, I go through periods of my life where I mess up, but I'll always come back to myself, you know, because I've established that relationship. I know what it feels like to show up for myself and to do that and to be that person for myself. So I know it's possible. And I know that even if I feel lost or afraid or just like I'm going backwards or there's no hope, you know, I'll never give up on myself, ever, because I know what it feels like not to. And I've got that under my belt. So it's in my toolkit. I know it's there. I know it exists, even if I feel like it doesn't. I think also allowing yourself the freedom to be yourself fully and to follow your dreams fully and to do the things you want to do fully and to be and just embody who you are fully, then the people that are meant to find you and the people that are meant to be at some capacity, these kinds of supports in our life, they will come because they'll recognize you. And hopefully all the nasty people are freaked out and see you as arrogant and egotistical. Rejection is protection. I really hope that this video helps, and give yourself permission to do something for you today. And I'll see you in the next one.